Hello and welcome back, and welcome to a Patreon peek to my interview with Gabe. I recently was able to sit down with Gabe and have an in-depth conversation where he was very reflective, very vulnerable, and just very open about his experiences on the challenge, as well as his background prior to coming onto the season, and so much more. The full interview is over on my Patreon at patreon.com/angelcakevids, and it's nearly an hour long. The interview is available to the $3 and $5 tier patrons. You not only will get access to the Gabe interview, but you'll get access to all my interviews, Patreon rewatch commentary, reality TV commentary videos, premium challenge commentary videos that are not suitable here on YouTube, and much, much more. So if you would like to support the channel as well as getting weekly exclusive content, please check out my Patreon at patreon.com/angelcakevids. If you have any questions, please leave them down in the comment section below. Without further ado, here's a portion of my interview with Gabe. I hope you enjoy. Hello and welcome back, everyone. Today I'm joined by the only Gabe. Thank you for being here. How are you doing today?
I'm doing well. How's it going?
I'm doing pretty well. I want to say thank you for joining me tonight, getting to sit down and chat. I really, really appreciate it. And you are someone that is being talked about quite a bit on this season of the challenge, but we'll get into all of that. I first want to ask, and this is pretty much a standard question for everybody that I get to talk to on the newer side of the game, is how familiar were you about the challenge prior to coming onto this season?
Yeah, so I've seen a little bit of comments on this, and some people think I'm not super familiar. Some people think I am. I'm actually pretty familiar. I've watched ever since Bloodlines, so I do know like everybody that was there. I mean, some people I was like meeting TJ. You don't see it underneath the table. I'm shaking. I'm sweating. And then some people, it was like, oh, this is super cool to meet them. And then some other people, I was shaking as well. I mean, you walk up to CT, you're like, oh, you could. But no, it's all super cool. But yeah.
That's awesome. I'm so glad to hear that you are a fan of the show prior to coming on, because that's always a question mark with some of the newer players that come in and they are just like, I don't even know who this person is. So that's really awesome. Who are you the most, when you met them, you were like, oh, you're exactly who you are on the TV, or somebody that like blew away your expectations meeting them that you've watched since your time watching the show?
Blew away my expectations, Ashley Mitchell, but exactly what they look like on television, Johnny Bananas.
Did you have a favorite, like a fan favorite of yours that you were hoping to see on the challenge, or that you liked when watching the shows?
Oh yeah, I would say for the women, it was actually Nani. I was very to meet her, and then for the males, it's definitely CT. I like watched a lot of it. Like I like went back and like rewatched seasons, and I was like, okay, how can I strategize this the best? And CT was one of the main ones I was watching, just how he navigated the game. And so yeah, it was definitely I was definitely very excited to meet CT.
Coming from an athletic background, did the challenge like scratch that itch from a competitive side of how physical it was, or was it something that was completely different than what you expected coming into it?
So both, I would say. It definitely, like you definitely have a game day feel, walking out to those challenges, hearing what it's going to be like. But then it's also like it's something totally random, right? Most things that I've played in, I've been, if not like average, I've been over average, right? The challenge, you can suck that day. And it can be a normal thing. So you do kind of have to drop a little bit of your humility and make sure that you're willing to kind of just do whatever it takes. I mean, you have to mentally just make sure that every single day you're checking in, you're going to do whatever it takes.
I feel as an audience member, we aren't getting a full picture of your game through the edit. And so I wanted to give you a chance to like, how would you describe your game or the game that you're playing up to this point in the show, up to episode 6?
Funny, because I think in some ways you guys kind of do, because it's messy and it's all over. And I will fully admit that certain other rookies hadn't watched as much as I had. Like America's probably the next person closest, like closest and like how much they watched versus like and how much of a fan they were of the show. And when you get in there, like America's obviously already done reality TV, and I've done playing a character. Uh,
Mhm.
that's way different, right? So everybody else also knows kind of how to navigate reality TV, versus I didn't really. So it was kind of like just trying to like I feel like every single day I wasn't really playing for the long run. I was playing for how can I stay safe until I get into that elimination and I'm like, uh, this is literally I either get out or I stay in the game. Yeah, I think it was just overplaying, honestly. My game was the easiest to be found out. I was caught in lies, I was caught in like just coercion or anything like that. So it's easy to point out. Now watching it back, I see that there's a lot of people that lied to different people.
Mhm.
We're not getting caught.
Yeah.
And so that's kind of where you get it. I mean, you have somebody who is getting caught. And realistically, if there's somebody that has a target on their back, I would play the same exact way. You don't need a target if they're doing it because they're just going to be a target all like by everybody. And this season, I think from the seasons that I've watched, and then there's always been somebody that's kind of constantly messed up. This season, there was a little bit of like, there wasn't much of that.
Mm.
It was harder to make a decision every single deliberation up to this point. So, we just didn't know where to go, and I think I was easy.
I don't necessarily want to rehash everything between you and Naya and that whole stuff because you talked about it on the Challenge Official podcast and everything. I do want to talk about you going into the elimination against Johnny Bananas. You get unanimously voted in, and you get sent in against Johnny. You're going in against the 7-time champ. When you get announced that you're going in, what is your first thought? How are you preparing yourself? And then what does it feel like once you get that win so dominantly?
Yeah, so I've seen the comments on social media and different things like that about like, oh, he's a crybaby, he's different things like that. I am a very emotional guy.
Mhm.
I don't care to show that emotion, but I think what people don't know is my past. My
Mhm.
past definitely has a huge play into that elimination and why when me and Jake were sitting down and I'm tearing up saying it's hard, man. It's because when you're in there, I mean, like, and you hear that, right? And you're like, everybody wants to be gone. It's not just a house. It's like, that's been like everything that I've had to do, whether it was WWE, you see people, certain people, they want you gone, and then they get me gone. Then you also go into like whenever I played rugby, whenever I played football, um, like it was always me fighting up this hill.
Mhm.
It wasn't because of my skill, it's just because whether or not people like you, you're a I'm 6'5", 6'6". I'm gonna walk into a room and I'm gonna be technically in an athletic position. I'm gonna be a threat, regardless. I can positions, different things like that. They're going to want you gone. And then just like even like my family, right? I don't talk to my parents. I'm adopted as well. So it kind of everything. It all pushes it together, and you're like everybody wants you gone. But I've also used that to motivate me now to being like I'm always going to work harder and prove people wrong. And I think going into that elimination and having that win, that's why I was so emphatic when I won.
You win this the elimination against Johnny, and then you get to a point where you are now in the first rookie pair. Episode five's daily challenge was kind of like the perfect challenge for both of you, the Dirt Baller challenge, where I mean it is the most physical challenge that we've had thus far on the season, and you two are probably the biggest, strongest pair that they have there. Did you carry a full post by yourself?
Uh, yeah, I did. I carried the third post all by myself. I was just like it was a time thing.
Mhm.
And Leka was telling me she's like I'm tired. And that's the coolest thing about the challenge, honestly, is like you get to connect with your like you get to connect with your partner in a like a point of time where it's like it reminded me so much of the military, like when we'd have drill sergeants smoke us and we would look to the left and right, we see the next person is suffering with us. And so like you just kind of pick up where your partner might need some rest, and then vice versa as well.
Hmm.
Uh, and like Lekka was shorter than me, so her back wasn't hurting as much as me. So sometimes I'd have to stop and be like, "Bro, can you just dig for a little bit?" But like that challenge took all day, like all
Mhm.
day. But yeah, no, there was I did carry the pole. I carried one pole by myself, just so she could rest a little bit.
I do have to ask about that voting ceremony where you refused to vote Ben or Jeremy. I know you're coming off of the past couple of weeks trying to rebuild some trust and everything. Was there was that just a sense of trying to do self-preservation, or what was your decision behind that?
Yeah, I was trying to rebuild. This is one thing you guys don't see this because this was in the middle of a night, like the night before, and we're all sleeping. I kind of sleep a little. I sleep a little bit like light,
Mhm.
and I hear Ben get up and out of his bed. What are you doing, man? Like it's like middle of the night, and I whisper over to him, Jake, Jake, I think Ben's outside, and Jake gets up and tries to go to the door, and he hears him talking technically with like the other side. And so we're like, okay, weird. Why is he doing that? Because he was, to us, he was playing with us. But we didn't really think much of it. But now, like watching the season back, I'm like, yeah, he's definitely, he didn't care about us at all. He, I'm like a friend by, but he didn't care about us for the game. But yeah, like me and Jeremy had just had that conversation at the bar too. And we were just trying to figure out like, because people were starting to see, oh, it could turn into like more rookie pairs, and we don't want the strong guys essentially to go out.
Mhm.
And as you can see in episode 6, there's more rookie pairs.
We can move on to episode 6 because I have quite a few questions from this past week's episode. One, mainly from your Heat One. It's you and Anissa going up against CT and Lekka doing your own run. So you're completely doing your own thing. But I mean, upon hearing what people were saying, slash even kind of glancing a look over on the other side, like what is your thought process when you're seeing CT still in the water?
People can talk as much as they want, like, but like the challenge that I had to sit out with Naya, there was 3, 4 bigger guys that didn't get up that hill, that didn't get up that block. And I was feeling it myself because I went up the ladder twice. And I like the second time, like my forearms were giving out, like I could feel it. I generally was like, okay, I guess maybe he like generally cannot get up. Uh,
Mhm.
and I wasn't really like, my mind wasn't thinking like he's throwing the challenge. Me and CT were growing close too, so I was like, he wouldn't just throw this challenge. Like he might throw it if he really didn't like somebody, but Lekka literally had no like there was no negative bond between them. They definitely like they would always talk together. Like they were cool.
I'm just throwing this out here. This is my own theory, but I do feel like there is some strategic throwing of gasoline on the already fire between like Cedric and Jeremy in the kitchen with Turbo, where they know like Turbo has this like I want to stand on business kind of thing, and I just feel like when Jeremy is like I feel like he threw it on purpose. I'm like that kind of feels like it's coming from a true place, but also maybe like hey, why don't you question him about whether he did this on purpose or not to kind of like add into because we see the rookies trying to come together. It almost makes me feel like, okay, as they're coming together, they're trying to split some people apart. So I don't know. I felt like that's also at play here.
Yeah, I didn't actually see how that went down. I fully remember how this went down for me and Jake. We were taking a nap. We were taking a nap, and we hear like yelling, and I'm like, oh, somebody must be messing around. And then I'm like, and then I hear, I forget, I think Turbo calls him up or something like that. I was like, oh, like somebody actually mad. I was like, Jake, wake up. And I'm trying to run around like, ah. But no, like props on the two guys because they did a good job of getting them both riled up at each other.
There's another moment that I desperately need to ask you about, and you were cheesing throughout the entire moment, and that was Leo's speech at the voting ceremony. What I gotta ask because sometimes I'm like, does the editing team just have fun and kind of chop it up and it wasn't really that bad? How long did he actually talk for, you think? And was it making any sense?
Honestly, it was maybe like 5 minutes, but
Hmm.
5 minutes is so long when we're sitting there just waiting to get to. I love him. I love him to death. But 5 minutes is like it's a long time to just kind of sit there and let him talk. And we're just looking at each other, and I think I'm talking to Jake. Jake's like has a sullen face, but I think I was cracking a joke at the time, to about it's like, bro, we gotta tell our brother to shut up.
We get to the elimination. We have Lekka versus Olivia. Going into it, what is your expectations going into this? Do you feel like Lekka has this one in the bag because of how much you've seen her compete? Or do you feel Olivia has maybe a little bit of an or is it too close to tell, especially with this elimination that nobody can really lock into?
I thought it was gonna be. I kind of thought it was gonna be close, and I
Hmm.
didn't know where it was gonna be, where it was gonna land. Olivia beat me up the hill.
Hmm.
Oh, I knew that her stamina was great, and Olivia was like my dream partner because I just knew her stamina was so good. Uh,
Hmm.
but then Lex is also like she's also a freaking beast. So like I just didn't know where it was gonna land because both of them, I mean, both of them were very, very equal when it comes to just well-roundedness.
How do you feel like you would have done in this elimination? Like if, say, you and Johnny were gonna go head to head in this one. Oh yeah?
I would have like I don't think that the only person that would give me a run for my money. Well, actually, there's a couple people. If we're going against vets, there's probably Theo, but like rookies, yeah, there would be several people that would give me a run for my money. Like
Okay.
Will, or Jeremy, or Cedric, Jake, Leo. Like they probably would have given me a run for my money. I just think I have longer strides
Hmm.
and I'm not slow. Like when I played football, I ran a 4.6. So like I'm not slow at all.
After this elimination, Lekka gets eliminated. You get picked by Aviv, third, by the way, third on the women's side. So you get high up, and you get a really good partner in Aviv. Hopefully, everything goes well in next week's go kart and everything. But I do want to pause this now. Coming into this season, what was the goals that you had? Did you have like, I know coming into a game like this, you're always like, I want to win, right? But was there like smaller goals that you had? Having known the show, was it like, I want to go into a certain elimination? I want to do this kind of daily heights over water? Or were you like, I want to get to episode 5. I don't want to be the first one out. Like, was there specific goals that you had or things you wanted to strive for?
So I would say like a lot of like my like just like my mindset was very much on don't be first moved. Like don't
Hmm.
be first moved. I actually like was like what people don't see is like I was very anxious about being first boot, and because I've seen like there's a lot of times when the big guys go in there pretty quickly. Nobody really wants to see them like do well. And especially like I knew that for a big guy, I have very like for a big guy, I have good stamina. Uh,
Hmm.
so then that also leaves another thing is like, okay, he's not that. Um, and it's not like he's not just like a big guy that's a layup, you know? And I think I also just wanted to prove myself, you know?
Hmm.
It'd been so long since like WWE released me and kind of gave up on me. Like I just kind of wanted to be like, let me go back out there and show them show myself who I still am, you know?
Hmm.
When you go through a couple different releases from professional sports, you can really like you see NFL players go through it all the time. Like they can lose themselves.
Hmm.
And I had worked my tail to get back to like just physically where I was. And so I think I just wanted to see it pay off in every single day. Um, any elimination, any challenge that we had, I just wanted to do my absolute best and just like make it to the day.
We are coming up to the end of the hour. I do want to now give you a chance to shout out your social media, where people can find you, projects that are coming up that you want them to check out. Yeah.
Yeah. So I mean, keep watching the season. I think it's gonna be a great season. There's definitely some stuff that's coming down the way. But as for my social media, it's Gabe Wai Fit on Instagram, Gabriel Y 99 on TikTok and Twitter. And yeah, I mean that's kind of me.
A sweet deal. I want to say thank you again for taking the time to sit down. It is like 7/8 o'clock at night. So I just appreciate you taking the time after a busy day to sit down and chat with me about your experiences with the challenge. And this was very enlightening. And I thought it was an incredible time to get to know you. And I'm looking forward to seeing you not only for the rest of this season, for however long you're on, hopefully for a long time, but as well as hopefully seeing you in the future on more seasons.
Yeah, definitely. Always a pleasure talking just about the challenge and everything that it's gifted us. I think a lot of times count it as a blessing and then keep it pushing. But every single day, I'm grateful for the opportunity that they gave me, and just being able to relay that back to you guys as fans as well. Because every single day, I mean, there was never a day I was like, oh yeah, I'm just in the challenge house. No, it was every single day I was like, I'm blessed to be here.
Sweet deal. I really appreciate that as a fan because I mean, yeah, we've had some newer players just come in and just kind of put it on autopilot, lay underneath the like stay in bed and then just do nothing. So I appreciate that you went in there and and gave it your all every single time. So I really appreciate it. And thank you again.
Of course, we will be hopefully speaking soon sometime.
Oh yeah, definitely. Anytime.